Hey everyone, thanks for joining. We're going to give people a little bit of time before we get started here. We hope everyone got to see the photo we just took of the Foothills Vineyard we posted. It's a beautiful day here in Walla Walla, about 70 degrees. Just ideal time right now in the spring. So glad to see people joining in. Thanks for the waves. Wave back. As people start getting going here, Larry Golden, hello. How's Tampa? You happy Tom Brady's coming your way? So, as people keep coming on here, we're very excited here. I want to welcome you again, to the Friday afternoon wine tastings in Walla Walla here. It's been fun to kind of be able to still chat with everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Good to see Doug Wysocki tuning in from Chi-Town. How you doing, buddy? Let's get going here. Maybe just a little bit more, but we're very excited to show today the 2016 In the Rocks. It's from our In the Rocks vineyard, which is kind of our it's where we first got started, and it was one of the wines that we've done. It has been from the very beginning, and we're just really excited to show how this wine is aging, because I think it's doing beautiful. I kind of want to talk a little bit about the vineyard, but just for everyone who's tuning in, I'm Matt Reinvan, the winemaker and vineyard manager at Reinvan Family Vineyards. So 2016, it was interesting because we had just come off of a year, the 2015, that was extremely hot, and 2016 started no different. April, May, so hot. Early parts of June, very warm. And so everyone kind of, paying attention to see that, that we might be dealing with another 2015, which was very difficult. We were able to make really good wines from a hot vintage, but, we prefer a little bit of a more, smoother, cooler approach. Gives the wines a lot, in the vineyard, it's a lot easier on them. So we were kind of hesitant, kind of wondering what exactly to do, because the trends were showing it was going to be very hot again. So I started thinking about, if we leave more of the crop, because it was already a heavy set in the year. I was thinking about, if it stays hot, we have to really balance the vineyard. And so I wanted to play around hedging my bets a little bit, but also thinking the weather could turn to a smoother forecast. So I decided to play around with certain blocks where we had, in the past, have seen done well with larger crops, and some that really needed to be stressed to get the ripeness and the flavor profile that we wanted. So I ended up, dropping a lot of fruit on some of the blocks that I really thought needed it. Left a little bit more fruit on some of the other ones to hedge against the potential heat. And so what was nice about that is we ended up, as the year, went along, was able to have a lot of good options in the cellar. But what ended up happening was it started to really cool down in June, and became a really smooth July into the fall. Cool, beautiful, kind of like Indian summer conditions that made it absolutely perfect. I mean, we couldn't have asked for anything better. So it turned from really scary to really exciting about the potential for the 2016 vintage. So that was very fun. It was nice that I was able to play around and have these different options, but it ended up becoming really perfect. What was great about the long long exposure that we could do with the hang time. It gave us a chance to, pick when we wanted. I've always been a guy that picks, more on feeling than by numbers. I just find that that's just how I work best. I trust the instinct and the way the grapes taste, and then when they're ready, they're ready. So it went into picking time, and everything. When they were ready, and we brought in some really exciting grapes. I would say getting to the actual wine now. Again, to remind everyone, 2016 in the rocks, 95% Syrah, 5% Viognier co-fermented. So we co-ferment ended up being about 5% in there. Alcohol was really nice actually, given the conditions. It was 13.5, which we love. Very happy with that. And right now the wine is showing beautifully. And this was a wine that honestly, from the time it got in the cellar and blended, I've been a huge fan of it. It's one of the wines that we do. Really, a lot of people know the In the Rocks because we make more of it. So it's out there a little bit more than some of the other wines, but beautiful vintage. So taking a look here at the wine, right now, to be quite honest, I was smelling, kind of taking a look at it, a lot of the early Viognier notes that were there, kind of that apricot peach characteristic is kind of more subdued, and we're getting more into what you would think from a little bit with a little bit of age on a Syrah. You've got honestly beautiful notes of the fruit aspect of it is the blackberry first, I think, foremost when you smell it. Just beautiful, really ripe. Sorry, I went back to it because there's this beautiful, this lavender, almost Eau de Provence kind of. I know this because my dad's is obsessed with pepper. It smells exactly like ground pepper to me, just right off the notes, which is so great to see for 16, because sometimes in a vintage like that, you can get a little worried that there'll be too much fruit and there'll be less of the aromatics that we like to see from our vineyard, the more terroir aspects of it. So it's great to see that that's coming through right now. One of the notes I think we get in most of our wines is the smokiness. It's kind of just that particular vineyard site really does bring a certain level of smoked meats, a little bit of that campfire smoke, just really showing through there beautifully. As you come back to it, I think you really pick up, for me anyway, I get a lot of olive characteristic. Not so much of the tapenade, maybe as much as just kind of like you think of just olive juice a little bit. Maybe a mixture of black and green olives, but really showing beautifully right now. It's really showing, this is a great bottle, really showing well right now. I think it has a potential to really, to age for 10 to 15 plus years, but it really is showing wonderfully right now. So for folks, I'm glad this wine today, everyone's hopefully enjoying it beautifully. One of the things, I think is when you taste a wine like this, I'm an aromatics guy, so it's really important for me to do a lot of these aromatics going back and forth, but yeah, when you smell it, honestly, it takes you kind of into an Hermitage realm, which is great to see. But it's our terroir. It's Washington. It's great to see that I think it really has its own personality and character. Yeah. In terms of the upbringing of the wine, probably if I could think back to 16, it would be more of maybe a little bit more. I would say a little more all berry than whole cluster. Some of them I try to use more whole cluster anyway. It's truly about knowing your vineyard and knowing which lots do better and whatnot, and then you can have a little room to to experiment and play with, which I think is really important for us to always, never just make a recipe wine. Really come together and make a wine for whatever the vintage is and gives you. So, but it was typically we age, age our wines in barrel, always in French barrel. A lot of neutral oak. This one, I think this one was 25 by the end, 25% new oak, rest in neutral. Started to experiment a little bit in puncheon with this one, so there was maybe 1 or 2 puncheons in there, a little bit newer, so I would have to transfer them out early into neutral. I didn't want to impart that to new oak characteristic, but I think it's beautifully integrated. It's in there, and then when you taste it here, that's awesome. I love that there's brightness to it. There's not, it's so long, so round, beautiful, but it's so fresh. All the In the Rocks, that's really one of the things we try and do within the Rocks is keeping it beautifully fresh and elegant. It's very elegant right now. So beautiful. Yeah, amazing finish. Tannins are beautifully integrated. They're smooth, polished. Again, very long. This wine, I love how it coats the mouth. We always, it just is beautifully. What? Catskill 33, what am I doing? I know. It's only 3 out here. Just later on, maybe, we'll see. But right now, I'll be Spence Needle. All right, my cousin Spence. Thanks for joining, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're doing well in Seattle. With this wine, right now, I love where it's at. I think it can be enjoyed right now, but I'd love to see this in another 6 years or so. I always think about what to pair with our Syrahs. To be quite honest, it's hard to argue. I remember I was looking at an old Wine Spectator that Wolfgang Puck did about. He did this Rack of Lamb with one of our Syrahs, and you really can't go wrong with Rack of Lamb. I mean, it is perfect pairing. You have all these great characteristics in wine that would pair with, with something like that very well. That's the route I would go. I wouldn't change much of Wolfgang. So take a look back at that. It was back in this month of 16, the issue, if you want to take a look. But yeah, one more sip here with you. Yeah, guys, I would really, if you want to leave this out for a little bit, see how it develops over some hours here. It'd be beautiful. Right now it's tasting great. Thank you, Kay Renem. We appreciate that very much. We love making the wines for all of you guys. So, I really want to thank everyone for joining us today. It's been fun. It's fun to stay connected, and we just we love your support through all of this. I hope everyone's doing well out there. And hello, we have Newberg Michael from Minnesota drinking with us. Thank you. We appreciate it, buddy. This wine, I think you guys enjoy right now. Put it in the cellar. The last thing I would say is I want to remind, everyone that next Friday we're going to be doing the 2014 Unnamed Syrah, which was the last year that we did a Syrah co-fermented with Grenache Blanc. So, I hope everyone can come back and join us again. Hey Kaya, yeah, you better open some tonight. You know where to get more if you need it. Love you guys. So next week, 2014 Unnamed, please join us. We hope everyone's doing well. And it connected a bit late. How does In the Rocks differ from other Syrahs in the hills? Okay, if you guys can hang on one more, I'd be happy to answer that. Difference real quick. Terroir, completely rocky soil. Versus the hillside vineyard, that's more silty loam. Elevation, about 800 in the rocks and about 1600 up at the foothills. You get a lot more gamey, peppery notes, more prominent pepper notes than the one we had today. Honestly, they're raised very similarly. One's a little bit aged a little bit shorter, but the other one's aged longer. It's all right. Thank you. 6 o'clock in Indy. Dodd 15. Thank you. My cousin, of course. We aren't going anywhere, huh? All right, buddy. See if I can keep this going a little bit more. Between the two ones, that would be the biggest difference. I seem to use similar tradition styles at both places, but each vineyard has its own unique terroir, and every year is different. As opposed to the 16 right here, where this one's a little bit the in the rock 16's fresher, I would say right now. The 16 foothills was kind of I would say a little bit richer style than what we had from the In the Rocks, and that could be kind of up here. We tend to go with lower yields to get the ripeness because it's different terroir. Hey, all right, greetings from NorCal. Thank you. Appreciate you repping us down there. Bitsy, thank you. Alabama. All right, love Canada. Everyone, hope you're doing well. Shirley Bell, San Francisco. Hope you guys are doing well down there. Thanks for always repping us. Other than that, I'm really looking forward to doing this again. It's been fun to speak to everyone, and I hope that you guys will all join us next week as well. So, cheers, santé, salud, and everyone take care.